scavenger hunt last year. I don't think I'm doing another scavenger hunt this year. I didn't plan for it. By the time I remembered it, it was too late. For time reference, it's beginning of December right now. Since I would have to plan something within like the next week, and I have a lot going on. This is marble, if you're wondering why it looks like this. It's 10:43 p.m. I just finished my cake tasting boxes for the day. 10:15, I think. This cake is sage, and they wanted it sparkly. If you're wondering again what my cake scraps look like, this is what the cake scraps pretty much look like. Since I'm not repurposing this for cake pops, this is useless. This goes into the trash. If this was the top of the cake, it would still be this thin, and I would just give it to Nestor. So no matter how I layer this isn't gonna look pretty or appealing to anybody. I would have to do some manipulation to that to make it look appealing. This is my house. I'm not having people come here on a whim. My business is just not designed that way, and I don't want it to be. I don't want to be waiting around here because I have 6 cake pops I want to sell. So this is a marble cake, and it's going to have a raspberry filling in it. I'm not embarrassed to say that I read like fanfic. I'll read stuff like self-published work, all types of stuff. Sometimes I read some of these things and it's like 450 something chapters, and I'm like, okay, give it a rest. I don't care if each chapter is only like 100 words or whatever. It's almost like reading like manhwa, reading like a comic. Lisa chapter, end it. This isn't a comic, there's no pictures, so I have to keep imagining all of this. No. So many that I've just had to stop because it's just like, give it a fucking rest. How many challenges can they go through? Main lead has been off like 6 times. They've lost like 20 husbands at this point. Powers have come and go. Just keep sacrificing themselves. It's crazy. There's always a sneaky woman, the scheming woman. Those are my guilty pleasure. Forest green, ivory, and red. I can't tell you how much though. On camera, this color will look mint. In person, it'll look sage green versus mint green. I thought I was going crazy the other week. I made a sage green cake. Like, oh my goodness, it looks mint, but it matched the dress perfectly. That it matched the decorations and everything, especially because of the lights I have in here. Blue. You're gonna add a little bit of blue to make sage. Be very careful so that you don't get a teal color. And then that's where you might get like a Tiffany blue instead of your sage green. If you're going to recommend a book to me, you find that I delete your comment, it's probably because I did not like your recommendation and I don't want it to be recommended to other people, not because I think my choices are superior. Please do not recommend me any books where leads are in high school, don't get out of high school, or they just graduated. I'm old. This is specifically if it's a romance. Don't want the recommendation. Unless it's like a fluffy romance, there's like no spice. It feels really weird reading any type of spicy books where the characters are like barely of age or underage. It's not my cup of tea. I know if like you read like a lot of shifter type romance books, that's gonna be a thing because a lot of them like, oh, they have their first shift when they turn 16 or 18 years old. Basically at that point those books are just smut, and that's fine. I like a smutty book. I don't like reading spicy books about people who are decades younger than me. You hook your elbow into your hip, have something that has a straight edge, sit it flat, you turn this, you don't move your hand, and you try and keep your hand as stiff as possible. So next, I don't know why I let this song play for so long. You don't even have to like me. Just pick a side and go for it. As flushed as possible with the cake. And I scrape off all the excess. Some people do it with the scraper. I don't feel that's necessary. A bunch of white diamond. I love the way you do it. I love this. It's 1:01 a.m. Okay, I gotta go to bed.